We all know FIFA is basically a football cartel, controlling every big tournament and the billions that come with it. But have you ever asked yourself how they keep entire clubs and countries in line? Maybe it's just smart management, or maybe it's something far more ruthless. First, let's talk about FIFA's favorite weapon: absolute power. They don't just run football, they own the entire ecosystem. Think of them as the operating system for the world's most popular sport. Every official international match, every player registration, every tournament that matters, it all runs through their servers in Zurich. They set the rules, they control the calendar, and most importantly, they own the one dream every player, coach, and fan shares: the World Cup. This control isn't just administrative, it's their ultimate leverage, and they are not afraid to use it. Remember the European Super League in 2021? For 48 chaotic hours, a dozen of the world's biggest clubs tried to break away and create their own exclusive American-style closed league. The response from FIFA and UEFA was swift and brutal.
If some elect to go their own way, then they must live with the consequences of their choice. They are responsible for their choice. Concretely, this means either you are in or you are out.
They didn't just threaten fines or legal action. They aimed for the jugular. They threatened to ban every single player involved from playing for their national teams. No more World Cups, no more Euros. Imagine telling Kylian Mbappé he could never again represent France, or Kevin De Bruyne he was barred from playing for Belgium. The message was simple: you can have your new league, but you will sacrifice your legacy and the dreams of your entire nation. Faced with that and massive fan backlash, the project crumbled. That's not governance. That's a cartel enforcing its territory. So, how does this cartel fuel itself? With a money machine that would make governments jealous. The revenue from a single World Cup cycle is astronomical. For the 2022 Qatar World Cup, FIFA's revenue was a reported $7.5 billion. That's not a typo. Billions. With a B, this torrent of cash pours in from three primary sources: insanely lucrative broadcasting rights, massive sponsorship deals with global brands who want a piece of the world's attention, and brand licensing for things like video games. But here's the genius of their financial system. To even be part of the game, every single one of the 211 national associations has to pay FIFA. It's a non-negotiable buy-in. You want your country to have a shot at glory? You pay your dues and you play by their rules. FIFA then reinvests some of this through programs like the FIFA Forward program, which sounds great on paper. They distribute millions to federations around the world for development projects. However, critics have long pointed to a severe lack of transparency and independent oversight. These funds have historically been used as a political tool, a way to secure the loyalty of federation presidents who hold the votes that keep the FIFA leadership in power. It often becomes less about growing the game in a small nation and more about ensuring that nation's vote is in your pocket come election time. This brings us to their crown jewel, the ultimate source of their power and wealth: the World Cup itself. It's not just a trophy, it's the single most powerful political bargaining chip on the planet. Hosting the tournament is an exercise in soft power, and countries will spend billions to secure the rights. And the bidding process? It's where the real, shadowy deals are made. The decisions to award the tournament to Russia in 2018 and Qatar in 2022 were immediately plagued by widespread, credible allegations of bribery and corruption that went to the very top of FIFA's executive committee. Multiple members of that committee were later indicted or banned from football for life. Then we have the masterclass in political maneuvering for the 2034 World Cup. In a stunningly blatant move, FIFA suddenly changed the hosting requirements to favor a bid from the Asia or Oceania regions, and simultaneously fast-tracked the bidding timeline to an absurdly short window. In a shocking coincidence, every potential rival bidder like Australia quickly dropped out, citing the impossible timeframe.
Australia is officially out of the race to host the 2034 Football World Cup. Football Australia pulling the pin after it became very clear that Saudi Arabia was the clear favourite.
This left a completely clear, uncontested path for Saudi Arabia. It was less of a competition and more of a coronation, orchestrated by FIFA to reward a powerful political and financial ally. So, with all this, why doesn't anything ever change? Because the system is meticulously designed to protect itself. FIFA has historically operated like a secret society, with closed elections, loyal committees stacked with friends of the president, and a culture that punishes dissent and buries whistleblowers.
Phaedra Al-Majid never wanted her identity revealed. Last week she says her cover was blown and she was discredited, changing everything.
Qatar!
Miss Al-Majid first decided to break ranks when, as part of the Qatar team, she says she saw something that went way beyond lobbying. They are extraordinary allegations.
The massive FIFA Gate scandal in 2015 should have burned the whole thing down. The U.S. Department of Justice exposed decades of systemic corruption at the highest level.
Now, many of the individuals and organizations we will describe today were entrusted with keeping soccer open and accessible to all. They held important responsibilities at every level, from building soccer fields for children in developing countries to organizing the World Cup. They were expected to uphold the rules that keep soccer honest and to protect the integrity of the game. Instead, they corrupted the business of worldwide soccer to serve their interests and to enrich themselves. This Department of Justice is determined to end these practices.
Bribery, racketeering, wire fraud, it was all there. Top officials were arrested in dramatic dawn raids. Sepp Blatter, the untouchable president for 17 years, was dethroned. For a moment, it looked like real, meaningful change was coming. But what happened? Gianni Infantino, Blatter's former right-hand man, rose to power promising reform, transparency, and a clean new era. Yet years later, critics accuse him of consolidating power, pushing through his own controversial plans, and operating with a similar level of unchecked authority as his predecessor. The individuals at the top changed, but the core power structure, the very system that enables this behavior, remained. It patched itself up, put on a new suit, and carried on. This is the cartel's ultimate defense. When the system investigates itself, the system always wins. So, when you watch the next match, remember what's happening behind the curtain. A monopoly on power enforced with threats. A machine designed to generate and protect its wealth. A political tool sold to the highest bidder. And a structure that protects itself above all else. Is cartel too strong a word, or does it fit perfectly? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this video opened your eyes, do us a favor and hit that like button. And subscribe for more deep dives the mainstream media won't show you. Because the first step to changing the game is understanding how it's truly played.